What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about the 10 biggest mistakes I made on Amazon my first year. These mistakes resulted in 3 failed products, 15K lost at least, tons of headaches, dwindling bank accounts, stress, didn't think I was gonna be able to do this business, as well as it slowed me up tremendously. I wasted so much time doing dumb little mistakes, where I could have got there 10 times faster if I just knew what the hell I was doing. So hopefully this will give you a little insight of what not to do, what to do. That way you can get there, without the mistakes, without the costly errors that I had my first year selling on Amazon. Starting with number 1, keep your job, okay? I didn't do this. I quit my job. I didn't have any income coming in. I was relying totally on my savings, and I watched my account dwindle as I failed time and time again with advertising, with my products, with photography. And this didn't allow me to reorder what I needed. This didn't allow me to take the time. That's the biggest thing. I felt that pressure of my dwindling bank account. And so I was rushed. I felt like I needed to make money now. With Amazon, it doesn't work quite that way. You need to take your time as far as, product research, suppliers, getting it over, launching, ranking, getting reviews. This stuff takes time, okay? It could take 3 to 6 months to get your initial footing on Amazon. It's not a get rich quick scheme, okay? This takes time to build the foundation of your business properly. And watching that account dwindle and not having any income come in, it's terrible. It's a recipe for making mistake after mistake because you're rushing things too fast, trying to force things too fast with your Amazon business. That leads me into mistake number 2, being impatient. Okay, I'm not just talking about the money thing. Obviously, you see your account dwindling. This is going to affect your decision making. But me, I've always had an act for winging things. That's what I did in school. I got by. I did homework last minute. I did it half-assed. Essentially, everything I did, I just did it with the C effort, okay? And I got by, okay? That's just the way my mentality was. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to wing it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to prepare. I don't have to work hard. And I want results now. And that's exactly what I did with my Amazon business. I couldn't wait and figure out product research, so I just bought 3 products and threw them on there and expected results. No, I failed miserably. That's how I lost over $15,000 on my first 3 products. They were terrible. So we want to go slow and fast at the same time, meaning that we're patient, but on the activities we're doing, we're obviously having some sense of urgency. Okay, we're taking our time, but at the same time, we're not just wasting time or spinning our wheels or watching video after video. We're taking action, but we're patient with that action. You could probably say this mistake factors into every one of my mistakes I made my first year on Amazon that we're going to get to. So it's important to have a sense of urgency, but it's also important to take it slow, making sure you're making the right decisions, minimizing your risk. That way you actually build something that has a foundation that's actually going to work long-term and not just work maybe for a month or 2 and you make a quick $200. No, something you could build as a real asset year after year, and it just keeps compounding from there. Mistake number 3, terrible suppliers. Okay, I know that sounds very vague, but let me get into it a little bit more here. So just like I was rushing everything, right? Seeing a bank account dwindle, wanting results right away, trying to wing it. I never vetted suppliers like once when I first started, okay? I just saw one on Alibaba. I went there and I picked it and got some samples in, and then I was like, that's good enough, let's go. Well, with my first product, this bit me in the butt pretty hard, okay? So we were in fidget spinners, trying to sell fidget spinners. We saw the hype for those, and so we tried to get them on Amazon. Great. We were selling actually like 9 to 12 a day, which was fantastic. But as soon as we got that momentum, it was gone because we had 10 1-star reviews come in like per every 2 days because these things were literally deteriorating in people's hands, okay? They weren't spinning properly. They were falling apart because I didn't vet the supplier. I didn't know what I was doing. Same thing with my next product, pizza stones, okay? I get those delivered to my home. Half of them are broken, okay? The manufacturer packed these in like these thin bubble wrapped, stacked them so high together, they're so heavy, they were just crushed into dust when they came to my house, okay? Like that's how bad it was, right? Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. In hindsight, I would have talked to 15 to 20 suppliers, talked to them, felt them out, got pictures, got samples, and it would have been a non-negotiable about settling for a supplier. You have to feel, 95% confident. You're never going to feel 100% confident in anything you do on Amazon, really, just because there's so much uncertainty. That's how it is in every business though, right? Because there's always going to be some risk you didn't think about. And if you try to calculate everything to 100%, you're never going to move anywhere because you're just going to be scared of inaction or think of a new variable that you didn't think about before. Mistake number 4, not getting help. Okay, so me, I've never asked for help. That's just the way I am. That's the way it used to be, I should say. So I thought asking for help or talking to a community was a sign of weakness. Okay. To me, it just seems like weakness, right? If you ask for help, you're admitting defeat. And I can't tell you how wrong I am about that, because if we ask for help, We get help from someone who's been there before. We learn from their mistakes. So essentially, you getting out of your comfort zone, going to talk to someone who's been there before, getting help, getting mentorship, whatever it is, doesn't have to be me, of course, right? This is not a pitch for that. This is something truly that held me back because not only my first year, but 3 years into it, I refused to ask for help. And I've had countless stories, right? $200,000 copyright issues, a negative $978,000 balance on my seller account, terrible products, terrible suppliers, terrible everything, getting stuck in customs. And these were actually all little mistakes. They were not big deals that I could fix up, sure up really quickly. But because I didn't ask for help, I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just shooting in the dark, essentially. And so once I started asking for help for these huge mistakes, I realized like within a week, I could clear these up easily. And I sat there for 6 months on some of these mistakes, just spinning my wheels. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Get in communities, whether they're free communities, you got to pay for a mentorship. Of course, check the person out, right? Do the gut check feel. You'll feel it, right? If they feel schemy, sketchy, things like that. We've dealt with people like that. I've dealt with people like that. But ultimately, every time I've gotten help, gotten mentorship, or just reached out to people, I've always saw a benefit from that. I've always learned something and I've moved on from the issue I was having, okay? So ask for help, find your little community. I'm telling you, you'll save so much time and so much money, so much headache from doing this. Mistake number 5, over-consuming content, okay? So I am totally guilty of this. My first year, just blog post after blog post, every YouTube video I could find. There wasn't a ton back then, but there was enough where I could sit there just reevaluating everything, reading things again, doing another Google search, doing another YouTube video search, and essentially just rewatching the content that I've already watched 1,000 times before, or learning way too far in advance from the steps I'm at right now. Okay, so if you are just sitting there consuming YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, watching the same content essentially and not taking action, this is huge, right? You're going to waste so much time from this. At some point, you got to turn YouTube off and just go for it, okay? Yes, there's some type of learning you should be doing before you try something, but you're going to learn the most by taking action, okay? So if you feel 70, 80% of the way there, that's perfect. That's business, okay? That's entrepreneurship. The next 30 to 20%, that's fine. You're going to discover that once you go in. But if you see yourself just essentially procrastinating by watching video after video, just know that you're going to move nowhere, essentially. So put the YouTube down after this video, of course, and just do it, okay? Take action. Then if you reach a barrier, that's where you go back, right? So essentially you're just following along, searching the content you only need and not just binge watching anything that pops up. Mistake number 6, not verifying your product, okay? So this is product research essentially. So as you know, my first 3 products, complete failures, okay? And I've had failures after that too. But my first year, these are my first 3 products, okay? Fidget spinners, okay? Super trendy, super dumb. 2, pizza stones, extremely breakable, heavy, super saturated market. And number 3, paracord bracelets, which super saturated, price point of like $6. You make no money selling products that low price point. It just doesn't work out. So these were all terrible products, okay? Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I took the wing it approach like usual and it failed miserably, okay? So with product research, this kind of goes back to the community, finding other people who've sold before to verify your product, okay? Because if you don't know, you don't know. And the only way to learn what to sell and what not to sell on Amazon, of course, you can watch videos, get the idea, but people just give you criteria that everybody's searching, and that's just not the recipe, right? There's 1,000 different ways to find a product that actually will work on Amazon, whether that's you improving it or a market to yourself or niching down or adding value, whatever it may be. But you don't know that until you have experience. And to get that experience, you have to spend a lot of money to figure that out, right? A lot of mistakes, just like I did. So you can find someone who's done this 1,000 times before. Great. If you can't just settle, right? You can't just, I've been doing this for a month now and I'm just giving in. I'm picking this one right here. No, I've seen this 1,000 times before too, with a lot of clients I work with, and they give in. We cannot settle with product research. We have to find something that we feel 90% the way there, okay? It's never going to be 100%, just like anything in this business, but we need to feel 90% and we need to minimize our risk. Don't spend 15, 20, 30K on your first product. No, keep it between like 3 to 8,000, somewhere in that range. That way, if you do make a mistake, hopefully you can get that cost of goods back, just sell for break even, and you learned a crap ton about, what this takes, what this actual process is. Okay, you're like, okay, not do this product anymore. This is why. Okay, then your second product, you're like, okay, I'm starting to get this a little more. On to mistake number 7 here, selling my first year, not getting inspections done. Okay, inspections, what they are is literally you'll have a third-party company, go to your manufacturer, check out your product, send you back a full report, videos, photos, everything, drop test, smell test, rip test, and anything else you want to specify that you improved on your product to go check out. Because if I would have gotten an inspection done on my fidget spinners, I would have known they were crap and that we're going to get 1-star reviews across the board. So instead of paying, $3 to $5 grand, whatever it was for that first order, and just blowing that money, I could have seen that my inspections were terrible, get those things fixed, or not send the final payment. And inspections only cost $200, okay? So everybody should be doing an inspection for your product. It's literally saved me tens of thousands of dollars. I had a barcode that wouldn't scan because it was too reflective, right? We had 5,000-6,000 units coming into Amazon. They would have rejected that whole shipment. It would have been a mess to try to get those out of there. We fixed these things, got stickers put over them because I got an inspection done, okay? So I cannot stress enough, you need to get an inspection done. Mistake number 8, blowing way too much money on Amazon PPC, okay? So I'm not the only one who's done this, but essentially starting my campaigns with $50, $100 budgets so you can literally blow $1,500 to $3 grand in a month, okay? And if you get this money to Amazon, they're gonna find a way to spend it essentially, because that's where they make a lot of money. Because why wouldn't they, right? That they're making money from you. So make sure when you start PPC, start light, maybe $10 to $20 budgets, $30 a max per day. You really don't know in PPC if it's gonna work or not yet, right? We have a product with 0 reviews, 1 review, 2 reviews. Your conversion rate's gonna be low. You're just figuring this out. You don't know what keywords are best performing. So essentially, if you're doing $100 per day, it's gonna be the most inefficient way to spend that $100. So if we take it slow for 2 to 4 weeks, we can compile data in PPC, figure out what keywords we should target to make it more efficient if we want to jack up budgets later. But at first, take it slow, get the data, figure it out. Then once we know like these 5 keywords right here, they're dominating. Then, okay, we allocate all our budget to those. And it's much more efficient if we want to ramp our budget up. So don't blow $100 a day on PPC. Trust me on that one. You'll regret it later. Mistake number 9, opening up multiple Seller Central accounts, okay? So our first year, we opened like four accounts, okay? So some in our name, some in different businesses. Well, this turned out to be a nightmare, okay? Because Amazon does not like it when you have a ton of accounts and they're in weird statuses. If one gets taken down, they can take them all down, okay? Because they track the IP address. So, IP address is tracked to 4 accounts. One goes down, they shut them all down, okay? And to get these back up is one of the worst nightmares you can have. It's called a related account suspension. Maybe you just want to sell with 1 account, right? You're like, well, I don't need these other 3. So I just need to get this 1 back up. No, it's not how it works. You actually have to get all 4 reinstated to get that 1 original back up. So it's like a dominoes. You got to lift 1 up at a time. Figure out what they want for 1 account, then you're on to the next, okay? So you actually have to open up all 4 of these if 4 got taken down that are linked to your IP address. And from experience, this could take 3 to 6 months or even just not happen at all, okay? So make sure you're not opening up a ton of accounts. Just focus on 1. You can have 1 account with multiple brands. It's just easier to focus on 1 until you become big, have 2 big brands. That's when I recommend getting 2 accounts. On to mistake number 10, okay? So this mistake is check your ego, okay? So check my ego really is the story of this. I have a big fat ego, as you could tell from my other mistakes here. I don't like to ask for help. I wing everything. I think I'm the best, okay? Especially when I first started 6 years ago, younger days, right? I thought I was the cream of the crop. I thought I could cut corners in business. I didn't think I had to do the boring stuff. I ignored everybody else's advice besides my own. And as you can see, it cost me about a year of selling on Amazon and 15K plus so many other mistakes. Before I got in my groove, before I feel like I've figured things out, it was 3 years of custom issues, inspection issues, supplier issues, selling issues, account issues that were all so easily avoidable if I would just ask for help, check my ego at the door, put the work in, stop cutting corners, and do it the right way, right? Imagine if I had those 3 years back and I actually built a foundation in my business, because I'd say I was taking flyers on all types of products. I was in like 20 different categories of products. We had mistake after mistake that hung us up from growth. And essentially after those 3 years, I made so many mistakes that we had to kind of just start fresh, start with a new brand, grow from there. But if we had those 3 years back and we were actually building a foundation the proper way, man, oh man, that'd be crazy. 3 years of growth on Amazon, and that just compounds year after year. So it'd be 6 years total of growth instead of just starting over, halfway through. It's like getting up halfway to a 14,000 foot mountain and turning back and going up another one, right? So you went 7,000 feet up, wasted 3 years, now you have to go all the way back down and then start from the bottom again. So if you do this right the first time, check your ego, learn, take action, go fast, but slow at the same time. Get mentorship, get a community, whatever it is, right? Whatever's the best in your scenario, and do this business the right way. I'm telling you, in 3 years, you'll look back and laugh. Okay. So I hope this helps, guys. Make sure you subscribe. If you found this valuable as well, there's going to be a link down below to my free Facebook group, right? If you're looking for that community, I do live Q&As in there as well to get your questions answered and be around people who are doing the exact same thing as you. I'm telling you, community is everything. So that'll be down there for you guys if you want to check that out. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.